is it audible now? Can somebody from the audience use the chat to just confirm if the audio is fine? It is clear. Yes. Some of the audience will be having an internet issue, and for that reason, they may not be able to hear. But I'm assuming some are able to hear it. Exactly. It should be fine, right? So we will start the session with conversation on the practical ways to take care of skin and hair health during the lockdown. Right now that there are no salons and no clinic visits possible, right? What is your take on the skin and hair health regime?
The thing is that lockdown is an unprecedented thing in all our lifetimes. Like, we never even thought that the world can stand still. We started the lockdown in March. That was the season when there was change of weather. Now through March, April, now we are in June, where it is already so hot, and we are entering July, which becomes a season of hair fall. So, you know, when we were working, when we were going out and all, we were following the schedule, and according to the weather, we were changing our products and we were changing our routines. Till March, we were still into that phase where we were using moisturizers and we were using cleansers because it was still dry. Now the problem is that once we have entered June, now it's getting hot, and again it will become humid. One to take home message in lockdown skincare is that you should follow a routine. In the sense that now we are at home, there is no routine. When there's no children to send to school, nobody is going to office, there are home calls. So whatever your schedule is, in the sense, skincare is very basic. Skin needs cleansing. If you're not cleansing, then the skin will start breaking out. Then you will run after the antibiotics and the anti-acne medicines. So the first thing which we have to do is do the proper cleansing. When we were in March, we were using cleansers. Now is the time when we have to start using the glycolic acid or salicylic acid foam face washes, because now we are sweating. And we are working in the kitchen more than we normally used to do. We were sitting in AC environments, working in AC offices. So पहली चीज जो आप सबको करनी है, you have to change your face wash. You have to wash your face first thing when you get up in the morning. That's we all know. But once you have done the kitchen job and you feel you're sweating, then you have to do this routine again. You have to clean your face. Another thing is before going off to sleep. Now, why sleep? Why do we talk about sleep? Unfortunately, there is no circadian rhythm. Dr. Shikha will agree to me that कब सोते हैं, कब जागते हैं, कोई उसका वो नहीं रह गया है. When we are sleeping, the blood circulation to the skin increases. We have a limited amount of blood, and that is when we eat, it goes to the GI system to digest the food. When we are thinking, it goes to the brain. Unfortunately, now we are stimulated. The brain is stimulated all the time. So the blood is not getting the time to go to the skin. And believe me, this is the way, this is the reason why people are having so many skin problems earlier. As dermatologist, I've been in dermatology for now 22 years. Earlier, it used to be disease-based. Now the problem is it's become lifestyle-based, because somehow there are lifestyle, we are abusing our skin. We are not taking care of it. So lockdown, first thing, face wash very regularly. If you are working in the kitchen, come out, wash your face, take an ice cube from the fridge, just apply all over the face and then dab dry. Don't scrub or rub with the towel. That is very important. After that, we need a moisturizer. And you know, when I'm talking of skincare, it's not a female skin or a male skin, it's a human skin. So males are, वो बच जाते हैं because they have beard half the area, so the half the skin is exfoliated. But you have to apply the moisturizer, otherwise the creases, the crow's feet, the forehead lines, they will start appearing. Drink 8 to 10 glasses of water per day. The NutriHealth person will also tell you, they will stress about it. Another thing what you have to do is about hair care. You know, आजकल जो है इतना ज़्यादा पसीना हो रहा है because normal से ज़्यादा हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं. So whenever you feel your hair is wet with sweat, just sit in front of the cooler or fan or in the AC room, just open the hair. Let the scalp dry, because if the scalp will not dry, you have the hair tied up like that, the scalp will not dry, and then it will start, dandruff शुरू हो जाएगा, dandruff के बाद infection शुरू हो जाएगा, and then you get into that rut, and then the hair fall will start. So the lockdown measures is that treat this lockdown as your normal life, or till at least we get back to normal. Don't neglect your skin and hair. One thing, Nitin, last, I hope I'm not over shooting my time. You can always tell me
Keep
when
carrying
No,
on. No, no, no,
I'm.
keep
it's a,
carrying on.
Another thing, the problem is we have to wear masks, and masks are very important these days. But what the masks are doing, they are irritating the skin, especially when you wear the mask like this. First of all, the mask has to be proper from nose to the chin. You cannot wear the mask improperly because it defeats the purpose of wearing the mask. Most of the masks have a nose pin over here. So the nose pin blocks it, and then you are supposed to wear it. This is my indoor mask. That's why it doesn't have a nose pin. Normally I wear the one with the nose pin when I'm out in the public. Before you wear the mask, what you should do is that take a thick cream, just apply it in this area. Wait for 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, because immediately if you wear the mask, then it will not close properly and it will defeat its purpose. And then apply the mask. This will prevent the irritation from happening. When you get back from outside, wash your face. You know, washing skin में अगर आप सफाई रखेंगे so आप 90% problems से दूर हो जाएंगे. Just wash your face with a mild face wash, dab dry, take a normal moisturizing lotion, apply in this area. So these things are very, very important. Even person like me who takes so much care because I know what is happening, started having the dry patches in these areas because all the time the face was covered, the carbon dioxide we were breathing it. So you have to learn to take care of this. Another area which is becoming a problem is the hands, because we are using sanitizers, too much sanitizers. Then we are, Nathan, when we are doing the question answer, we should do this hand dermatitis thing again, because I don't want to plop it over here because it will take away the time from here. The thing is, the hands also you have to take lots of care. Sanitizer, only alcohol sanitizers work properly. 70% alcohol is needed in that sanitizer for it to be effective. You have to apply it properly in between the webs of the fingers for 30 seconds, then let it evaporate. Now, because of this, the skin ka jo normal lipid layer hai, it is getting irritated. So what you have to do is, the moment you come back home, wash your hands with normal soap and water and apply a cream. When you're going outside, wear gloves so that you don't have to apply these sanitizers again and again. And before eating, I have seen that I have been, actually I never liked sanitizers before the corona came because it destroyed the skin layers. Ab marta kya na karta ke they are our saviors. So we have to make them friends, but we have to learn how to take care of them. And the most important thing which has started is the hair fall. Stress leads to hair fall. So we all are stressed. At some point or the other, we are economically stressed, we are emotionally stressed. 2 months, believe me, I can tell you exactly when you started feeling unwell or you started the stress, exactly 2 months after that, your hair will start coming in your hands. And this is what has happened. We started from 22nd March. Before that also we were afraid. And now is the time when that thing is showing the effect. And as we go on, we'll talk of the hair fall. Dr. Shikha can elaborate all the hair fall, Shikha, because all the nutritional deficiencies are also more important. So at this time, I will tackle the stress, you tackle the nutrition, and then we go ahead. Yes.
Definitely. So before we start taking questions, I think we can also talk about the superfoods which will help in skin and hair health.
Yes.
Shikha, over to you.
So before I start, there is one thing which is not there in the bio of Dr. Sheila, and that is that she is a distinction holder in MAMC, and she used to be one roll number, ahead of me. So her roll number was 117 and mine was 118. And this is my standard introduction to, my classmate and friend, Dr. Sheila. So since he was a distinction holder, so I would tell all the audience that this comes with a lot of IQ. Whatever she's saying is not just casual. So,
we have been partners in lots of crimes together. So
yes. So it's a double delight for me to be actually be on this webinar with Dr. Sheila today, and it's really happy because I get to meet a friend and do a webinar. So Nitin, as you asked me that what are the superfoods and what are the foods for hair and skin. So fundamentally, I think it's important for us to understand that whenever we look at any solution, we are looking at, sometimes in isolation. Now, in terms of foods, the kind of foods which would help your hair and skin will also actually help you in anti-aging, because hair, good skin, and anti-aging are all interconnected. So it's not that you have to have separate things for anti-aging and separate things for hair and skin. And by definition, what is a superfood? So a superfood is not like Superman, that you get into trouble and then the superfood will bail you out, because many times people do not take care of their diet or skin or hair, and then they think the superfood now will save them from problems. No, superfood is anything which has more than the normal qualities beyond food. So like, for example, if we look at cinnamon. Now, cinnamon is not really technically just a nutrition food. I mean, it's not something which can fill your tummy. It is something where there are elements which have antiviral or antibacterial or anti-diabetic or good for skin elements also. Similarly, if you look at ginger, now, ginger is called a superfood because it has multiple effects. So it's given to women expecting mothers in nausea. It is also given as a liver detoxifier. It is also given as an antiviral, antifungal. Like having ginger every day. So it has multiple impacts, and anything which has a multiple impact is called a superfood. Now, particularly for hair and skin, there are a couple of things which I'd like to say. But first, I'd like to share a recipe, which is an immunity booster, anti-aging recipe for skin and hair and immunity. And in this, you take 1 piece of amla, 1 apple, two tomatoes, 100 grams of beetroot, 1 bottle gourd, a little bit of mint, ginger, some rock salt. We don't recommend white salt because white salt is bleached. And any bleaching is unhealthy for the body. And a little bit of sea buckthorn, which is Himalayan berry. So Himalayan berry is basically this is a berry which grows at high altitudes in the Himalayas, like Leh, Ladakh, Kargil area. And it is also used by DRDO, which is a Defense Research Development Organization. So they give it to their soldiers. So this vegetable juice is wonderful because it also has cooling properties. So like in summers, you can drink this, and fresh amla is available. So please use fresh amla, but just in case in your locality you don't get it, just use amla powder. So put everything in a blender and drink everything. I would suggest please use the fiber also. Now, other than that, there are many things which like protein, fiber, folic acid, B12, but I'll talk about it as we go along. That what are the very important nutritional guidelines if you want to have a healthy hair, and like I say, fortifying your body so that your hair and skin become healthy.
Thanks, Doctor. So we will start with the questions which we had collected before we started this webinar. So there are a lot of questions which are around hair loss. So I think like earlier Dr. Sheila was mentioning, hair loss has become a major issue, and our viewers are looking for some practical solutions which they can practice at home. Dr. Sheila, can you help with that question?
Yeah, Nitin, I start from where the onion juice has stopped working. So, so people have already done the onion juice, the methi ka dana. Now it's my turn, and believe me, I always say that dermatologists have become the Supreme Court. खुद की कहानी करेंगे, फिर होम रेमेडीज होंगी, फिर दादी नानी होगा, तब हमारा वो टर्न आता है. तो अब जो हेयर फॉल हो रहा है now, because we are about to enter July. We as dermatologists are very afraid of July because July leads to, there is something called as telogen effluvium. Telogen effluvium means our hair, we are hot-blooded animals. Each of our hair goes through its life cycle. You have to understand why the hair loss is happening, because hair loss, if you're stressed, it increases the hair loss. So if you know what is happening to you, it will really help you. Our hair go through a cycle of living, then waiting, and then falling down. In dogs, as you know, there is a shedding season. We know now it's the shedding season, now it's that. In humans, we don't have a shedding season, but we definitely have a season which is called telogen effluvium season, which means that the most of the hair go into the falling phase. Okay, so when I pick up the hair, if I take out a hair like this, and if I see the hair, the root will show a whitish top. Do that to all your hair. You know, when you see all the hair and you are afraid कि ये क्या हुआ, so you pick up the hair and try and look at the roots. Most of the roots will have a whitish tip. It's the hair sheath. So the hair has finished its life. It's come out of the root, and the new one will start coming. You know, ऐसा नहीं होता शिखा, ऐसा तो होता नहीं है कि अगर हम बाल ना कटाएं तो सबके बाल will reach the ankle length, because everything is genetic. Like your hair has a genetic cut. It will grow to a certain length and then it will fall and the new hair will start coming. So this is a time, and this telogen effluvium varies in various continents. In Indian subcontinent it is July. June hota tha, ab July ho gaya because the monsoons have shifted to July. In European continent it's March. So everywhere this is different. So in India, stress, as I told Nitin, as I said, is we have been stressed for long and stress is added to it. Now the telogen effluvium is also adding to it. So up jo hai wo baal, when you do like this, you have at least 10 strands of hair in your, I'm sorry, I get distracted by reading all the chats. So what you should do is just see, first of all, a sign of hair loss. When you wash your hair, hair will come out, because hair is a protein. It absorbs water, and you're washing the hair which is loose will come out. When you're combing, the hair will come out because it is like it's already loose and it's coming out. But significant hair loss happens when you get up in the morning and you say there are 10 hairs on your pillow. Now this is non-frictional hair loss in the sense कि आप तो कुछ नहीं कर रहे थे, फिर भी वो बाल अपने आप निकल के आ रहे हैं. So this is the sign of extreme hair loss. Now in this season, home remedies काम करती हैं, पर इस लेवल के हेयर फॉल पे काम नहीं करती हैं. Now we need to go to hair serums. I am not in favor of using things which, you know, for the time being they give the result and then when you leave them again everything comes out. I'm talking of minoxidil. It's a salt which is used and abused both. So you use it for a long time and you are happy. One day you say, okay, now I'm tired and all the hair will come out. So minoxidil is not the answer. We are looking for hair growth serums. Hair growth serums have lots of things. It's got aminoxyl, it's got captopril. These are the things which increase the blood circulation to the hair root. The hair is a dead tissue, but hair root has the blood vessel circulation over there. So these are the things which you have to apply, which you have, I have to stop reading this.
Right.
So Nitin will be asking you questions. So
Yes. No worries about the questions. I'll go through the questions and I'll be asking it to you.
Yeah.
So the thing is कि यहाँ पर, and one thing, because somebody just wrote कि a hypothyroid person has a hair loss problem. You know, hair loss, as we both know, Shikha, ke anemia, hypothyroid, then PCOS, these are the conditions which lead to a chronic hair loss. Today, what I'm talking about is the acute hair loss, what is happening right now. You know, we are concerned about this lockdown situation. Once you have a hair loss for a long time, then I would like to do all your blood tests. I would like to see whether your thyroid is normal, whether your ferritin. Ferritin is one element which is so deficient in everybody, and ferritin is the storage iron. So if you have low ferritin, then the hair fall will be imminent. वो होगा ही होगा. In all this talk, let me say, we females are blessed because of our estrogen, we'll not go bald. So be assured on that. For males, you have to be very vigilant because once you lose the hair, it's very difficult to get it back. So what is the solution of this hair fall? First of all, you have to stop stressing because stress adds to hair fall. Secondly, start with biotin. Biotin is vitamin B7, and this is the time when you have to take it. Over the counter लेने में कोई नुकसान नहीं है, but the dosage of biotin has to be 10 milligram. Right now, what we are trying to do is use it as a treatment. We are not using it as a supplement. You know, supplement is something which you add to complete your diet, but right now I want to use it as a treatment. Anybody 6 years above of age, for children also we can give that. We have to take 10 milligram of biotin for at least 2 months. You know, don't get tired of doing things and say कि कुछ नहीं हो रहा, वो कुछ होने में वक्त लगता है. So use a hair serum. You can go to the chemist. India महान है, हमारे यहाँ आप जाके hair growth serum ले सकते हैं. Don't look for minoxidil because minoxidil I'm not in favor of. It will not give you good results, permanent results. There are multiple hair loss shampoos also available. I don't want to bind you. मैं ये नहीं कहना चाहती यही लीजिए जाके आप जाइए. What you can do is you can go to a pharmacy, take a photo, search online. You can mail me the photo, send us so that we can say, हाँ, this is okay, this is right, this is not right. So start it from today, and believe me, in 1 month, still the monsoon will be there, but your hair will be better. So start the action today. Don't expect the results to come tomorrow, but definitely it is going to work.
Thanks, doctor. And while we are still talking about hair health, right? The issue of hair thinning and losing the luster, making the scalp and hair becoming too dry, is again a problem which I'm assuming is high in summer. What are the practical remedies for that?
First of all, anybody who has curly hair will have dry hair. As I always say, you have to first know what is normal. You know, you start getting stressed hearing everybody else, but you have to know if your hair is curly, it's going to be dry. If you're using color, your hair is going to be dry. If you're using henna, your hair is going to be super dry. So you have to know what is the reason for it happening. One thing happens is if you don't wash your scalp frequently, which is as a technical person we will say alternate day, but people who have long hair, they don't want to do it alternate day, so it has to be at least twice a week. You can't have every Sunday to Sunday wash because scalp mein wo dead cells ikhatte hote chale jate hain, then they get infected by fungus, and that is the dandruff what we all are worried about. So first of all, you have to clean your scalp. What you should do is the oiling, which is Hindustaniyon ka jo jaan hai. Oiling has a role of working as a conditioner. So ideally what you should do is half an hour before your bath, take the oil and apply it on the strands basically. Scalp doesn't need the oil. Scalp is producing oil. That's why you need to wash your hair. आपके बाल गंदे हो जाते हैं. वो क्यों गंदे हो जाते हैं? Oily हो जाते हैं because the hair gland has a oil, sebaceous duct over there, which is producing the oil. Oiling का जो अहमियत है, जो value है, that's the massage action. But the massage action, if you are having hair fall, it will increase the hair fall. So it's better you take the oil, and it can be, and then again, from one thing to another, oils are differentiated by thick and thin oil. In summers, we use thin oil, which is the coconut oil. It can be the Kiyokapin, the thin oil or the baby oil. In winters, we use the thick oil, which is the olive oil, the almond oil, basically. So use a thinner oil, apply it on the strands, let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes, and then wash your scalp with a normal shampoo. Now, if somebody feels that they have a dry hair, then they have dry hair the whole year. How can you have the same hair and how can you use the same shampoo when it is 2 degrees in Delhi and when it is 45 degrees in Delhi? You know, logic ko istemal karo. So how these shampoos are differentiated is how they market it is that shampoo for dry hair will have more conditioner and shampoo for oily hair will have less conditioner. But in the weather, everything changes. You know, in winters, everybody will have a dry hair. In summers, everybody will have an oily scalp. So use a normal hair shampoo, pick up a normal hair shampoo, pick up a normal conditioner. If you feel, if while having a bath, you move your hands like this and your hair are tangled, your hair, the finger is stopping over there, it means you need conditioner. You take conditioner, apply it like this and wash it off. Conditioner has got a bad name. What people come to me, Shikha, because we are people's person. So, you know, we get the feedback from people. We are talking technically, and then they say the moment we use conditioner, the hair fall is more. What happens is the conditioner is a sticky product. So when you apply it and do like this, all the hair stick to your hand and the blame goes to the conditioner. So conditioner has to be used. 90% if you have used the oil, then you won't need the conditioner. You won't need the conditioner after every wash. Maybe you'll need it once a week, once in 15 days. Learn about yourself. Now the next stage in cosmetology and cosmeceuticals is personal shampoo and personal conditioners according to your genetic makeup. So tab tak isi se kaam chala hai.
Right. So those are some of the few follow-up questions. Like when we talk about biotin, right? Does that cause hair growth on the body, or will it just help with hair growth on?
I laughed when first time I heard that question, but why it's such a valid question when you sit from a common man's point of view. I I gave a system. We have a system of hair growth vitamins. So the lady goes back home and asks me, "Will it increase the hair growth everywhere?" I said, hair in different part of body are under different hormonal influences. So the hair on the scalp are totally different from the hair influences on other part of the body. We do laser hair removal and we do scalp hair growth. So we do both. So biotin will help on the scalp hair only.
I guess rest assured they don't have to be
I
worried.
could have said it myself.
Right. And there were few questions like, can you suggest some shampoos or brands? I mean, that is up to you. And I'm assuming this will be varying across, varying by the hair type and, you know.
Exactly. There are some very good brands available in India, and let me tell you, anything is not cheap. You know, you want to look for a कहीं ना कहीं वो पैसे चले जाएंगे, या तो वो मेरे पास कंसल्टेशन में आ जाएंगे या तो मुझसे शैम्पू खरीद लो. So there are few good companies. Abbott is one, Sebamed is one. Sebamed is a very good company and they have 2-3 very good brands of shampoos. So I really recommend that. Abbott has very good anaphase. You should go to your chemist's shop, you know, stand there and ask him, can you show me the hair fall shampoos and the hair vitalizing shampoos? So there you will get an idea what is available and what will suit you. And otherwise we are here, you know, you can always, we are all public people, we are all open to questions. It's not that immediately I might not be able to answer, I might be eating, I might be moving out, but I'll eventually answer. So if you have a query, you can always drop us a mail, you can always ask us on Facebook, we will answer.
That's great, doctor. So earlier you were saying that the scalp produces oil on itself, right? But even then, some of the clients or patients, they get a dry scalp, right? So how to basically counter this issue? Is it a dietary issue or is it something, can it be solved through foods and nutrition?
It's a skin type. There are two types of dandruff. It can be dry dandruff or it can be oily dandruff. Dry dandruff is a problem in people who generally have dry skin. You know, the dry skin goes from it's a spectrum from dry skin to severe xerosis to psoriasis that we can go. Another spectrum is seborrheic dermatitis, where the scalp is very oily and we call it seborrheic areas the T-zone. Everybody is aware of the T-zone. This area, and this area. So these are, and this area. So these are the areas where there are sebaceous glands. And the sebaceous glands are the ones which are producing the oil. So these are the people who have oily scalp and they have behind the ears, they have like, you know, the crust appearing over there and redness appearing over there. Here, the most important thing is people with oily scalp. If I say that you wash daily, people almost get a like heart attack. But that is important. We live in a tropical country. There's so much of dust and dirt. Either we are sitting in the AC. When you sit in the AC, then the body tries to respond by maintaining its like normal pH. So it produces more oil. So ideally, if you have dry dandruff, then you are supposed to apply a lotion. Anti-dandruff lotions are available. You apply that and then wash off. The problem with anti-dandruff shampoos is that the contact time is not there. You know, you apply the shampoo and you rinse, so it doesn't get time to work. So there are anti-dandruff lotions available. This is basically for dry dandruff. Oily dandruff is easier to treat. Even by washing, it gets okay. You know, if you wash frequently, then oily dandruff is under control, but you have to wash. For dry dandruff, you have to treat also. So you have to treat with an antifungal solution. And the over-the-counter things available are not bad. They're not something, no, you shouldn't use it. The difference between the OTC and difference between our prescription is the percentage. If over-the-counter, the same prescription, the same salt is available at 1%, I'll write 2%. So there is no harm. Try that 1%, try it for 2 weeks. But if for 2 weeks you feel it's not giving result, then you should get a prescription. As I talked of psoriasis, somebody picked up psoriasis. Psoriasis is a totally different entity. And if you have psoriasis, you'll know. So it's not that you can miss it in, you know, by you're thinking it's dandruff and it will be psoriasis, because psoriasis, the scalp skin is involved. So it's not the flakes, but the skin which gets irritated. So don't pick up on my words. You know, sometimes it happens that we say name of a disease and people start hyperventilating about it. Listen to the broader picture and then deduce it.
Right, doctor. So earlier, when we still talk about hair, right? Like you were mentioning, hormones have a big role to play, and especially with people having hormone imbalances like PCOD, skin and hair health takes a toll. And there was a very specific question which was about unnecessary hair growth during PCOD. So let me just take you through the question. So due to PCOD, I have developed so many thick, long hair on chin, which are also growing further towards face. So the endocrinologist doctor had prescribed me aldactone medicine to stop this hair growth and growing further, but said that the already grown hair cannot be removed by any medicine but laser, which is quite expensive. So the person's asking, is there any dental cream to remove these hair from root just permanently?
You have to understand PCOD, you must tell the diet also, Shikha, because we face it so much. The problem is so much. It's rampant. 10 girls, if I get the ultrasound done, 8 will turn up with PCOD. And it's actually because of the lifestyle we all are having over here. PCOD, polycystic ovarian disease. Okay, your ovaries, agar wo 1% hormone they were supposed to produce, now they are producing 30%. What is happening is that these are called the secondary sexual areas. Why do the hair come over here? Why doesn't your eyebrows grow, or why doesn't the hair grow everywhere else? These are the secondary sexual areas. So because the hormones in PCOD, in the imbalance, the male and female hormones, we are like this. If the male hormone increases, the secondary sexual area hairs start becoming thick. We already have hair roots over here. Ruwa to hai na, we have villus hair over here. It's a thinner hair. When the hormonal change happens, that hormone works on those hair roots, and instead of making them villus hair, make them the terminal hair, जो thick hair होता है. तो अब जिस रूट पे वो हार्मोन ऑलरेडी पीसीओडी का काम कर चुका है और वो थिक हो गया है, उस हेयर को हटाने के लिए हमें लेजर का सहारा लेना ही पड़ेगा. Laser hair removal was invented for PCOD patients only. वो जो है वो cosmetic में चला गया, but it's not a cosmetic treatment. It started, and 15 years ago, Indian laser, we have been doing this laser for 15 years, and it used to be such a costly affair that only PCOD people also would do only this or this. Now, because of advent of machines and everybody wants to do instead of waxing, they want to do laser. So laser is something which you have to, which is the treatment. Aldactone is a diuretic. Aldactone has an effect that it decreases the thickness of the hair. Basically, it makes it thinner. So once we remove it with the laser, and with PCOS patient, laser is also not effective in everybody. Out of 10, there will be one person जिसको आप 8 session भी laser के कर दो, the hair will not move because the hormones are so much that even if you are removing that, the hair is coming back. So all this thing we actually tell the person, it's an unfortunate thing. When I see young girls having those issues, and it actually plays on their confidence, but sometimes you are stuck. Sometimes you are stuck and you have no other way, so you have to learn to do it. Aldactone will continue for the answer of that. Laser, you have to go ahead. Lasers are two kinds. One is ND-YAG laser, which is a doctor's laser, which is done by the plastic surgeons or dermatologists. It's a strong laser, few sittings. It's costly. It definitely gives results. Another laser, you can choose laser according to the availability. Diode laser is something which the technicians can use. It's a softer laser, but it requires at least 8 to 10 sittings of laser to get those kind of effects. And if somebody is giving you a lifelong package, please don't take it. अगर laser ही lifelong कराना तो threading ही करा लो. So there has to be, you have to understand the technique. You have to understand why you are doing it. For all the PCOD patients, learn the diet restrictions, learn the diet changes, do the exercise, because that helps more than any cream. And there is no cream. There is no cream which can take the hair away.
Thanks, doctor. Dr. Shikha, I think you're on mute. Right.
So to touch upon the diet, yeah, that's what you want me to do?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think this is a very important topic which we are discussing. See, polycystic ovarian syndrome, it is a multi-organ syndrome. That means the ovaries are affected. Your insulin is becoming, it's not sensitive anymore. The tissues are not sensitive to insulin. Then there is this hormonal impact on the skin and hair. So what is very important to understand is that when you have a polycystic ovarian syndrome, treatments and diet have to go hand in hand. So whether you are looking for fertility treatments, whether you're looking for skin treatments, whether you're looking for weight loss treatments, all this has to go hand in hand. The first thing I would say is this: in polycystic ovarian syndrome, we have seen a very strong connection that in their family, somebody is diabetic. So the daughter, ends up having the other side of diabetes, which is the polycystic ovarian syndrome, which fundamentally in simple language means that आपको carbohydrate नहीं digest हो रहे. Carbohydrates are causing a negative or adverse impact on everything in your body. Now, how does it all start is that firstly, there is also an environment where in polycystic ovary, people are having very high carbohydrate diet, a lot of fast food or junk food or things like that. Now, the same diet given to a different human being with a different genetic history may not lead to polycystic ovarian syndrome. So it is not key if you are having pizza or if you're having high carbohydrate, everybody will get PCOS. In some families where there's a diabetic predisposition, it will lead to PCOS. In such cases, couple of things, simple, I'll tell you. First thing is, please stop having high carbohydrates, switch to have a diet which is low carbohydrate, which means basically कि आपको जो रोटी है वो गेहूं की मत लीजिए, उसको चना, उसमें किनवा, उसमें बार्ले, have a mixed atta roti which is low glycemic index. Second thing which is very important is that you have to have natural foods. Now there is something called hormone mimics, which means वो hormone की जैसे behave करते हैं, but they are not hormones. So a lot of preservatives and chemicals in the foods today mimic like hormones. मतलब शरीर के अंदर जाके वो hormones की तरह behave करते हैं. And because of that, they completely upset and imbalance your hormonal profile. Now, the moment the hormonal profile is imbalanced, then the girls, the women start getting a male pattern impact, which is all the hair growth and stuff. Which is also very important that in the diet, what are the things you can have? Now, fundamentally, you can have foods which are in the natural state, like जैसे गेहूं के बदले आप दलिया खा सकते हैं. Similarly, low glycemic quinoa हुआ, चने का आटा हुआ, all these things are low carbohydrate, low glycemic index. Then fiber is very important. See, fiber is not only just to increase the bulk of the food. Fiber is also a prebiotic. Now, prebiotic का मतलब है that it goes in the intestine and allows certain bacteria to multiply, which are good bacteria, which will help you have more digestion of B12 vitamins, which will have a better absorption of iron, a better absorption of many other vitamins. So which means that all these vitamins absorption improves if you have fiber. Water, of course, is a mandate, and Dr. Shela will be telling you again and again about how much water and why it has to be consumed. Then one thing which is very important is an alkaline diet. What we have seen is alkaline diet not only improves polycystic ovarian syndrome, it also improves a lot of hair and skin conditions. Now, you would ask, what is an alkaline diet? An alkaline diet basically means कि आपकी diet में there is a lot of vegetable juices, there are a lot of salads, there are a lot of fruits, and also that if you're having, say, fried food, you're not having too much, because what causes an acidic environment in the body is fried food, food in which there is a lot of pith. Now, pith is an ancient concept, but fundamentally it means जैसे garam masala है, egg है, non-vegetarian food hai, they cause pith in the body, which is more fire element in the body. So you have to cool the body. Now, what is cooling in nature? Amla is cooling, vegetable juices are cooling, coconut water is cooling, brown rice is cooling rather than white rice. Similarly, avoiding fried food is better. Now, even if you have to have ghee, and I'm a great recommender that you should have natural oils in the diet, like for example, nuts and oil seeds are very good for the diet. A lot of girls I've seen, they go on a zero fat diet, which is not healthy at all. So have nuts and oil seeds, don't have fried food, don't have fried parantha. One more thing which is very important is aerated drinks. There's a big no for aerated drinks. Cokes, Pepsis and all that, or whatever, Fantas and Sprites and everything. Now, why a lot of people say, but doctor, I'm having zero calorie diet, whatever diet soda. Now, zero calorie, it is zero calorie for you. But in your body, what we have seen is that diabetics have a negative impact to even zero calorie drinks because the aspartame and the other preservatives have a very negative effect on the insulin. So they might have made it zero sugar, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have a negative impact on your hormones, because we have seen people have not only increase in sugar levels, diabetics have sugar level, but PCOS becomes worse, skin becomes worse. So that is important not to have. And I think overall, there are a lot of diet plans, and towards the end of the session, we'll also be sharing that where you can access all the free diet plans which we have for you. But right now, this is alkaline diet is the way to go.
Thanks, Doctor. Dr. Sheila, I think you are on mute.
Sorry. When we are talking of diet, there is one thing which we don't like, that is milk. Milk is acnogenic. It means that increases the production of oil from your sebaceous gland. So all the teenagers, especially, you know, from 14 to 20, we want you to be off milk. You can take curd, because curd becomes it becomes a probiotic basically. So even for oily skin, if you have oily skin, milk is, you know, कुछ चीजें हमारी हिंदुस्तानी संस्कृति की हैं कि दूध पीना चाहिए, पर दूध was never meant for human beings. मतलब अगर ऐसा कुछ होता तो हमारा अपना कुछ source होता. So the thing is कि milk is acnogenic. Try and avoid milk, because as we move on for skin conditions also, we'll start talking about other things. Nitin, on to you. Otherwise, we'll never give you a chance.
Yes, I think we should move on to skin-related issues, because we are kind of closing in on time. So when it comes to skin, pigmentation is an issue which is prevalent nowadays. Pigmentation around mouth, on chin, around neck, right? So can you just explain to our audience why this is happening and what is the treatment for that?
Pigmentation is basically melanin. Melanin is our natural skin pigment which gives us skin color. In the pigmentation, what we talk about it, what has become a problem is melasma. Melasma is pigmentation on specific areas. We call it butterfly area. And this is because of hormonal changes. Once you have, like, you know, PCOD is one thing, then we go to the premenopausal, and then the menopausal skin, there the hormones are changing, and then it's becoming a problem. For men, when they go out in the sun a lot, for men somehow or other I've realized that they don't realize that it's their skin is also human skin. So they don't apply anything. You know, for us females, we at least apply a foundation, we apply a little calamine lotion, because foundation is a physical sunscreen. So even if you apply foundation, it protects you from the sun. So melasma in men is because of sunburn only. Let me tell you right in the beginning, to treat melasma in Indian skin is almost impossible. So it's better that you take care of it initially, like once you start feeling, and the melasma starts with dryness. Suddenly it doesn't get dry. Suddenly it doesn't get, you know, dark patch nahi aata. Pehle it becomes dry. Once you don't take care of that dryness, it starts becoming dark. And if you don't take care of that darkness, then it starts spreading. Fortunately for us, we have lots of multivitamins now available, which we have, for last 5 years, we have had lots many things which are helping us treat, because we are getting into treatments now. We have lactic acid peels. Peel जो बात होती है, जिसे मैं treatment कहना चाहती हूँ, peel सुनते ही ऐसा लगता है कि skin peel हो रही है. You know, the images which come in your mind, but there's nothing like that. Peel is a salt which has been made in a way so that it can penetrate your skin and reach where it is supposed to reach. That much percentage we cannot give you in a tube and say कि घर जाके लगा लो, because it might burn also. So it's an in-house procedure. But that's not the first step. The first step is, if you feel you are having dryness, start treating the dryness. If you feel that there is some marks, you can actually use the creams available in the market, but it should not have a steroid. It's a very you know, win or lose situation, because the first thing you want to do is there are so many things advertised, no marks cream and less marks, and whatever you start using it, it gives you results. It gives you a result because it's got a steroid in it. Now, when you stop it, it rebounds and it comes out more. तो कहीं ना कहीं अपना वो पढ़ना शुरू कर दीजिए कि आपको, you know, the only way you are on a Zoom meeting means you are well educated, you are technology stack savvy. at least all the ingredients. You will first Google, see what it is. What is its long-term side effects? I tell people even about my prescription, go and read it. You'll know what to expect, and because this is not something which will go away in 5 days. It's not an antibiotic 5-day course. It's something which you have to use for 2 to 3 months. So you have to know what you are using. The salts which we are using, I'm naming it, but you can't take it on your own, is glutathione, which we give with vitamin C, which actually helps in demyelinization. So melasma is something, if you are facing the problem, you have to go to a dermatologist, and you have to stick with that dermatologist for at least 2 months. Don't go doctor shopping, because then it doesn't help. When you come to me, I am seeing you, I'm writing a prescription, but I'm also watching, are you going to do what I tell you, or you're going to have a mind of your own? So if you listen to me, then I'll be more responsible for you. So this is something which, as dermatologists, we always face, because people want quick results. So that's why they do doctor shopping. So skin pigmentation is a problem which definitely can be solved. It takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of patience, but it can be solved.
And the same applies for the dark rings around neck, is it? So that was right. Now, coming to the next major issue is acne breakout. So I'm assuming it can't be just a skin issue. It has to do with the lifestyle and the food that you take. So if you can help with some methods and some precautions that somebody should take to prevent acne breakouts, right? That'll be helpful.
Acne, earlier we used to talk of teenage acne, which we would say it's a growing up phase, and the glands, the sebaceous glands get activated. They start producing the oil when you achieve teenage, and they actually become dormant by the time you reach 20. But now acne has become more of a lifestyle disease. And as Dr. Shikha was saying, the fizzy drinks, the caffeine is one thing which is a vasodilator. Vasodilator means it opens up the blood vessels and increases the blood circulation, and it vasodilates the sebaceous gland also. So earlier acne used to be over by 20, so we were treating the acne children to prevent the marks. Now the problem is that the acne has become a problem of adult acne. Adult acne is a lifestyle disease, and it has to be what you are eating. If you're not cleaning properly, if your cosmetic products, you're overusing cosmetic products, you're putting makeup, but you're not removing it when you get back. So oily skin, the only way you can prevent acne, the only way you can treat acne is cleansing and nutrition. Nutrition, yes, avoid the oily foods, but drink water. You have to drink 10 to 12 glasses of water. I always tell people, have 2 colored bottles in your name in the house. Fill it up in the morning and finish it at night. Everybody should have different, because we don't feel thirsty. We are sitting in air conditioned environment all the time. So air conditioning doesn't let you feel thirsty. So your body requires water, but you don't know. 10 to 12 glasses of water, which doesn't include aerated drinks or chai or coffee. Wash your face very regularly. If you wash the oil with, and why pani, हमें shock नहीं है. When you drink water, the secretions are diluted. Once the secretions are diluted, the chances of them getting infected is much less. After that, once you come back from outside, even if, like as I said, even in the lockdown, at least 3 times a day, we have to wash our face with a face wash, not with a soap. Our skin has triggers. So if we overdo a thing, it tries to balance itself. So अगर आप over dry कर दोगे, ज़्यादा चीजें use करने लगोगे, the skin will produce more oil. And this is what happens with everybody, because they go into that mode of using, drying skin lotion, then there is a drying cream. So the body gets the signals that the skin is getting dry and it produces more oil. So use a good face wash and no soap, and then you have to use a oil-free moisturizer. There are few things which I want you to remember when we finish this webinar. Oil-free moisturizer is one of them. Oil-free moisturizer, you'll get it very easily. Every company makes it. It moisturizes your skin without stimulating your oil glands. So once you have washed the face, just take a little bit of moisturizer. Actually, it should be kept in the bathroom only, because when the skin is damp, then it absorbs better. Just take it and apply it everywhere. This is what will keep your acne at bay. उसको दूर रखेगा। गर्मी है, आप मुल्तानी मिट्टी पैक वंस अ वीक यूज कर सकते हैं। यू कैन यूज खीरा वाटर ऑल्सो, उसको कद्दूकस करके उसका पानी निकालिए, उसको लगाइए और 10 मिनट बाद उसे धो दीजिए। लेकिन अगर आपको एक्ने हो रहा है, then you need treatment, because first of all acne is an infection, so you might need a medicine to decrease that infection. Then we use zinc. Zinc is a micronutrient which is not very easily, digested, not easily available in our diet, and the dose of zinc which we use is very antibacterial and anti-acne. Acne, the problem is that, and pre-periods, even at the age of 40 you break out into acne, so don't let that stress you. You should have an anti-acne cream. What you should do ideally is meet somebody, get the routine, and then follow it. But remember, the routine has to change. Sardi, garmi, barsat. You can't have the same routine when it's dry winters. You can't have the same routine when it's sweaty weather. So oily skin needs cleansing, oily skin needs oil-free moisturizer, oily skin needs pack. But if you have acne, you need medicine.
Right. And as Dr. Shaila was mentioning, there are specific food items which are good in micronutrients, which will help with skin health, right? Can Dr. Shika take our audience through some of those food items?
Yes, like already which has been mentioned, like, when we talk about hair health, skin health, there are a couple of things which you must have regularly. Like, for example, B12 is very important. Now, B12 deficiency, we have seen a lot in the patients who come to us. So please get your B12 checked. And if you have a deficiency, please start a supplement, because a lot of vegetarians do not have enough B12 in their body. So you might need a supplement. Second thing is, of course, biotin, folic acid, which is very important. And folic acid, in fact, iron folic acid we used to routinely give in the OPDs to pregnant women. And a lot of people who have iron deficiency also in India. There are a lot of different kind of irons available in the market, but make sure you don't overconsume it, because iron is stored in the body. Then another thing which is very important, which is is calcium and magnesium. Like, because women are more predisposed to calcium deficiency, because they're not as active, and activity actually improves calcium retention in the bones. Because when you are active, the impact of gravity retains calcium. So calcium is very important. And like Dr. Shela had mentioned, that I'm also not in favor of dairy. So the calcium sources are ragi. Ragi, in fact, in Madhya Pradesh and South is given to as a weaning food. It's a very, very good source of calcium. Then till in winters is very good. Sesame seeds is very good. Then all leafy vegetables are good sources of calcium. And I ask a lot of patients that, where does the cow get her calcium from? Because calcium is not only from milk. So it is from a lot of other sources also which are there in calcium, because a lot of people in North India are obsessed with drinking milk. Leafy vegetables. Then another thing which is very important is that you have to have all of them together. It doesn't mean that you can just have vitamin C tablets or folic acid tablets and you're neglecting the protein. Like I said, people love carbohydrates so much that in their diet there is no protein. So if I give you an example, 80% of people in metros, they will say we're having a variety of diet. But when you look at the diet, it is biscuit, it is noodle, it is chapati, puri, parantha, roti, bread. And all of them have only one source, which is wheat. So they're only eating wheat. And in fact, I would say that this consumption of wheat, as it's going up in society, so is health disorders also going, because wheat is maida, and maida is deficient in nutrients. You need a lot of nutrients in your diet. Now, because we are in Corona time, so I'll very quickly give you one or two recipes, because this is something which I definitely want to share. The first thing is have haldi ka pani, which is in the morning with hot water. Add a pinch of haldi and drink that in the morning, because it's anti-inflammatory. There is an Ayush Ministry has released a quath or a recipe for a quath, which we will be shortly sharing on the screen with you. Please have that. If you want immunity diets, we have a Vedic diet app in which there are a lot of free information available. There's a lot of free information available, and in the Vedic diet app, you will see immunity diets also and diet for PCOS also. So you can use that. And most importantly, I would say, and Dr. Shela, correct me if I'm wrong, that once a year, meet your doctors. I mean, once a year, like for example, after the age of 35, 40, once a year, meet your skin specialist. It's not a big deal. I mean, in the entire year, if you at least as a conservative thing, meet them, because there are a lot of skin conditions that start at every year, every age, right from pregnancy to menopause and post-menopause. Second thing I would say is that once a year, meet your eye specialist, because eye disorders can come in. So there is no harm for getting a general preventive checkup, or this thing. Don't go to the doctors only when you're in crisis. I always give a small example that suppose if you're going to a community center and there is a swimming pool and you fall into the pool. So the lifeguard will jump in, save your life, will say, oh, I'm so happy, I'm so blessed, I got saved. Then after a month, you again go to that place and again you fall into the pool. Now this time the lifeguard will say, sir, swimming seekho, you keep falling into the pool. So I think all good doctors really are not happy to see you in crisis. We all want to protect you. We all want to educate you. And like Dr. Sheila had said, she really educates her patients. And one thing I'd like to say, not only she's my friend, but I think she's one of those doctors who takes delight in helping her patients even while educating them. And she loves patients who, who actually hear and understand the knowledge what she's sharing. So do that. And of course, Nitin, at the end of the session, do share the screens,
Definitely. So there were a few more questions. I'll just close the session with 3 more questions. I hope that's fine with Dr. Sheila.
And I want to talk about acne marks basically, beta, because we were talking of acne. अब जिसने acne हो गया है और acne scars हो गए हैं, can I continue?
Please.
Acne scars is something which we treat according to the depth of the acne. If it's a sufficient depth of the scar, basically. If it's a superficial scar, we'll give you medicines like vitamin C serums, which work over 1 to 2 months. If the depth of the scar is more, we do the peels, basically. There is something called as dermabrasion. If the scar is more, then we do mesotherapy, where we go to the meso layer. The skin has 3 layers: epidermis, mesodermis, and dermis. So we go to the mesodermis and do it. If it is more, we do the laser thing. So for acne scars, you have to visit a dermatologist who will make a plan for you. Another thing, I'm here, maybe people don't realize, I always feel that there is always an element of dissatisfaction. कि हम आए और हमने ये पूछा और आपने नहीं बताया. Do you realize that both of us and Nitin, we are taking out time and we want to do it because we love doing it. There is no compulsion for us. हमें कोई फायदा नहीं हो रहा है यहाँ बैठ के. We are taking out time, we are doing it because we want, and somehow or the other कहीं ना कहीं वो प्यास रह जाती है, क्योंकि आप ये सोचिए कि एक पेशेंट पे 20 मिनट लगाते हैं और यहाँ पर हम 1 घंटे में 50 लोगों के सवालों के जवाब दे रहे हैं, तो कुछ ना कुछ तो रह जाएगा.
Yes,
I like the attitude sometimes which comes up in webinars. That's why I get very hustled. भाई कर तो रहे हैं कोशिश.
Yes. So the thing is, we are selecting questions based on the frequency at which, like the number of questions which are getting repeated. So those are the questions which are getting covered.
Yeah.
So if there are personal questions, we hope that we can arrange one-on-one sessions through the website, or right. That's how we would like to take it. So I will have to just.
Yeah, they can write the questions, and then as and when things happen, I can send the answer to you and you can forward to them.
Definitely.
So, exactly. And frankly speaking, we all run our websites and we all have our sites, and we are actually making all these public education things. And sometimes we end up repeating the same things 2,000 times, so that's okay.
Right. So before we close the session, I would like to take some interesting questions which came up, which were asked repeatedly. So there are these jade rollers, which are nowadays it's a fad. Like people use it to get better circulation, right? For skin health. So like if I talk about that, jade rollers, which are like a prickly, it's like more like a prickly roller, which you roll on your face and on your hair.
As it's not invasive in the sense कि वो आपकी skin को उखाड़ नहीं रहा है, bleeding नहीं हो रहा है. Secondly, you use the roller on a smooth skin. Moisturizer लगा के कीजिए. अगर dry skin पे आप कुछ भी करेंगे, it will irritate the skin more rather than helping it. It has to be hygienically cleaned. It should not be shared. So all these things, if you feel कि circulation बढ़ाने के लिए तो हम massage करते ही थे ना, तो वही चीज ये rollers कर रहे हैं. But it has to be You cannot have a scrubbing roller. You cannot have something which you scrub. You cannot remove acne marks on your own. Don't try that. I have seen advertisement for that. You take out blackheads and you take out. Another thing, when we are going blackheads and whiteheads, it's just a appearance of normal acne. You cannot dig them out. So the only way to take care is frequent washing, maybe a mild scrub once in 15 days. Again, you can't scrub the skin daily because the skin will start pigmenting otherwise. It's a science. It's a science. So before you do anything, just Google it. Just see what is right, what is wrong. Make up your mind. You're a well-educated, informed person. Everything hasn't to be fed to you. कि मैंने को ये बोलना पड़ेगा. And yes, we are here to take care of you.
And so another issue which happens with skin is dark circles around eyes and eye bags, right? So how can somebody having such issues take care of that? And with one last question, we will close. I'm sorry, doctor.
The thing is that dermatology is something where you have to be very persistent. So it's not a fever which will go down in 5 days. So people have to have that much of patience. First, to prevent dark circles, you have to do a massage in the area. In this, under the eye area, there are lymphatic glands also, which are the toxic waste removers. And if your eyes are tired, if you're on screen for too long, if you're waking up for too long, the body doesn't get time to reduce the toxic. So whenever you are at peace, just take little bit of almond oil. Never massage without any moisturizer or any non-frictional to remove the friction, because if you do like this, there will be friction and that will cause more creases. You have to think of skin as a cloth where you are ironing. So you have to iron in a particular direction. You can't do this because it will confuse the line. So then here you go from in to out, pick up your finger, again into out, pick up your finger, similarly up, into out, pick up your finger. Do this 10 times at night. This will remove this will help prevent the dark circles and remove the under eye bags. But if you have the dark circles, you can take an under eye cream, and believe me, all the under eye creams work. They need time to work. Secondly, and then you have to check, I hope you don't have any deficiencies, as Dr. Shikha said, vitamin B12, then anemia. These are the causes which leads to under eye pigmentation. So look for the cause, get into the direct habit of massage, and then apply an under eye cream. For रोज खाना खाते हैं, ये तो नहीं सोचता कल खाया था आज फिर खा ले. So apply your creams like that. Now, if it's an anti-aging cream, it has to be applied regularly. If it's an under eye cream, it has to be applied regularly. So do that. I know आजकल जो है travel बंद है, तो वो airport pickups बंद है. So people are finishing their quotas which they picked up from the duty free. So you can go to your pharmacist. We have all the good brands available. The brands available in India are also good. They are actually effective. जब खुलेगा travel तब जाके duty free से दोबारा लेंगे.
Yes. And I'll just take one last question and we will close it. So earlier we were talking about zinc, right? So there was a question on the dosage of zinc and how to decrease acne marks. With that, we will close the session. I'm sorry that we are spilling over.
I don't have to go anywhere. So the dose of zinc is 25 milligram, which you have to take once a day after meal for at least 2 months for all your stores to be filled up. You take it for 2 months, then you leave for 2 months, and then again you repeat it for 2 months. It will make a drastic difference in your nail texture. Your nails will become so good. There are people who have brittle nails. There are people who have flaky nails. Your hair will become much better and your skin will give you its blessings. So zinc is something which you have to take. Mute ho gaya, Nitin.
Yes, sorry. Yeah. Thanks, doctor. So with that, we'll be closing the session. But before that, let me just share the Vedic Diet app, which you were mentioning earlier, because there were a few questions around that. So you can download this app and all the diets are available there for free. And you can try it out and let us know your feedback as well. And I'm just sharing Dr. Shaila's website so that people can also reach out to her for any queries that they have, right? So please head over to Dr. Shaila MEHAK Skincare Clinic and you can ask all your queries there, right? And now with that, I would like to end the session. But before that, over to you, Dr. Shikha, if you want to make some closing statements.
Yeah, so I'd like to firstly thank Dr. Shela, and she is always very, very gracious. Of course, as a friend, I anyway would have demanded this session from her, but she's very gracious. She helps everybody, and it is a fantastic session. She's a reservoir of knowledge. I mean, whatever she has shared is a tip of an iceberg. She's a reservoir of knowledge. And I'll just mention one thing, when you go to a doctor, it is not just the prescription, but it is the diagnosis and how intelligently the doctor can diagnose, which is actually the hidden software inside that prescription, which is very important. So please don't share prescriptions. Please don't just say, my bhabhi got this, so let me try. It is not the right thing to do. Second thing is Dr. Shaila practices in South Delhi, and the address, the website is there. Please do reach out on the website, and you will find all the details of the treatments and things which are available. The Vedic diet app you have seen, it is a free diet app. It is specially done only for community service, because a lot of people come to us and sometimes they say, I'll tell you something which is very strange, that we never want to take care of our health. We don't want to spend money on our health. So realizing that, we thought that at least the diabetic diet and the cholesterol diet and all these disease diets should be free of cost. So it's all there in the diet app. You can see along with the recipes and everything. So please download that diet app. And of course, we would be coming back with more and more sessions. So stay tuned to the sessions and do give your feedback so that we can improve the quality and the way we are conducting the sessions. And I want to thank Nitin, who's my colleague, for organizing this session. And you can join the community if you wish. There are nutritionists who are giving answers. So we have a lot of nutritionists who give answers on the community page. You are welcome to use that, join the community.
Right. So there were a lot of questions which went unanswered. So if you can share it here, if it's specifically for Dr. Shaila, we'll be sharing with Dr. Shaila and she will be getting back to you on that. So please go to our community and share your questions. Thanks everyone. Thanks Dr. Shaila.
Thank you so much for organizing it. Thank you for all the plus and minuses we kept on going. I asked him to change so many things after I have written down what I wanted to do. And for all my viewers, we are here, we are trying, during lockdown, we are also locked down. We are also stressed. Our children are also at home, but we are trying to get to you. Do subscribe to the YouTube channels. You will find Dr. Shikha, Dr. Shaila Agarwal. So because we are trying to share our information as the best as our capability. We are also human beings. Pray with us, pray for us, and be happy, be safe, and stay connected.
Yes, yes.
Thanks, Dr. Shaila. Thanks, Dr. Shikha.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for attending this.
Bye.
Bye.